What's up, sis? It's been a minute. I just wanted to update you on what's going on with baby Karis and Mama T here. I have actually weaned the baby from my boobs and I don't know how to feel about it. I am definitely feeling some type of way. A part of it is like, you know, you're used to like planning your entire day around this baby's feeding schedule. And in the beginning, you know, when it's in that really truly infant stage, that baby mode, that's literally all you're doing all day. And you have to plan everything around nursing. And then for me, also pumping. If you guys are subs and you know that I went from fully breastfeeding to exclusively pumping. So you get a little bit of flexibility. It's like fake flexibility because obviously you're still attached to a pump, no matter if it's battery operated or you got the ones that you're stuffing in your bra or you're plugged to a wall. Like no matter what, you still have to do it a certain number of times per day because you have to produce that much milk for your baby. And of course you need to empty the boobs all throughout the day. So it's not really flexible, but at least you're not on demand as you were, especially those early few months that I was breastfeeding. So yes, all good things must come to it. And it is bittersweet too, because this is my last baby. She's a little over age 1 now. And that means now she's getting out of that infant stage. And she's a COVID baby, so she's pretty clingy. So she don't make me feel like she's getting out of the baby stage for real, for real. But essentially, because she is over the age of 1 now, she's no longer considered an infant. And so I'm thinking like, oh, that was my last baby, my last infant. I'll never see those baby years ever again. And then the other side of me is like, finally, yes. And I think the biggest part about it is the freedom, like finally feeling like I'm getting my body back and I can ditch all the nursing bras and then all the clothes. Going back to work, I haven't been able to wear all of my work clothes. And for me, it's not because of a weight thing. It's actually because I'm pumping all day long and I can't wear like a nice fitted dress with a zip up or buttons up the back when I need to be able to take something off and on throughout the course of the day. Whether I'm in my car, you guys know I'm in the medical sales field, so I may be in my car and I just have to pull over. And I know this sounds bad, but there are times when I'm in a rush and I got a long drive and I'm trying to plan my schedule accordingly and I just have to pump while I'm driving. And so I've gotten really good at it, which is so dangerous, I know, but you got to do what you got to do. And so it has to be something that I can wear that's convenient, that I can easily take off just the top. It can't be like a fitted blouse or a turtleneck or, you know, just anything like that. Even if I wear a jacket, I have to have a comfortable top on. And especially if it's just something simple like this. I have a few work shirts that are kind of like a little blousier than this, but the same tank design. And so the nice thing about that is that you can just kind of whip off the straps real quick, get your bra down, do what you got to do as far as being able to pump and multitask at the same time, whether that's driving or working or making videos for y'all. So mama, I know it's bittersweet, but if you're in the same boat as me, congratulations, because you have accomplished something huge. I mean, you were able to give your baby life. Could have been a couple weeks, couple months, could have been a year like me, doesn't matter. You were able to provide for that baby and give them the purest thing that they could ever have other than manna from heaven. And that's that liquid gold, that breast milk. So congratulations. You probably feel me like what I'm going through right now, but I'm excited about it. And I do feel like this is a great achievement for me. And this is my 3rd time around, but I still genuinely feel the same way that I did the 1st time around and the 2nd time around and now number 3. So I want to share with you guys my weaning process, which is different for every mama out there. I had actually different experiences even between my 3 kids. And so you don't always know what to expect, but I do want to share kind of what I went through. And again, it's for someone who ended up exclusively pumping. So it took me about 2 weeks to wean. It may be like 2 days for you. You might have threw some cabbage in your bra and it dried it up just like that and you were golden. Not for me. Not for any of these experiences that I've had with any of the 3 kids. And so I knew that it would take some time, and so I didn't rush it. I remember I think the 2nd day I started having that tingling in one of my boobs and that pain, and you know, I knew that mastitis was on its way. You know, pop my ibuprofen. If you guys know what mastitis is, or if you don't know what mastitis is, then you can definitely check my video out on that to learn more about what it is and how to prevent it if you succumb to it like me. I have been prone to it with all 3 babies, all 3 breastfeeding experiences. And this time wasn't so bad as far as like the number of incidences that I had, but the degree of the pain was definitely the same. It hurts like crazy. It hurts. So this time around, as I was weaning, I was like trying to prepare for it. So I was taking my ibuprofen kind of like prophylactically. But I remember about day 2 that my left breast started like getting that feeling. Then my right one, I started looking at my veins. And you can see like the milk ducts. They started getting softer and they started getting smaller. And so I could tell my boobs were actually starting to shrink down over that time frame. Like the 3rd day or 4th day, I would say, I had way less pain. They were like rock hard. I wasn't like fully engorged. And I took the process slowly. So I didn't just like stop pumping cold turkey. I just reduced the length of time. So let's say I was pumping at that point three times a day for, let's say, 30 minutes per time. What I did was reduce the length of time for each one. So I was still pumping 3 times a day that first week, but I was reducing it from like 30 minutes to like 25 minutes, you know, 16, 17 minutes. Like I was like inching my way down so that it wouldn't be such a shock to my system. And by that 2nd week, I did cut out 1 pump. So then I was at the point where I was just doing a couple pumps per day. And again, I started reducing even those. And so by the end of that, I'll say 13, 14 days. So then I noticed my output was definitely decreased like drastically. At that point, it was okay. The baby's been eating solid food since she was 6 months old. She's eating regular food all day, every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then she's eating in between fruit snacks. She loves her little veggie pouches. So she still eats those throughout the day. And then she snacks a little bit. So yeah, the girl eats. And she's skinny mini, but she eats. And so she didn't really miss not having the milk like all day long, especially since we did the process gradually. Now, she does still sort of need milk to go down to sleep, which I know you shouldn't be doing that once they hit age 1. We do it. If y'all saw my last video, y'all know she'll take a little bit of water in the middle of the night, but she still wants milk. And so what I'm trying to do is just like preserve the milk that I do pump throughout the day. I've frozen a ton of milk as well. And so when I'm at work and my nanny's here, we already defrost a little bit of milk every morning just in case. And so she still has some, and we just try to keep it either for nap time or at the end of the day so she can have it to go to sleep. But yeah, the girl she's drinking regular milk now. She's drinking cow's milk. And so I told y'all in my last video that she surprised me, like she loved it so much, so quickly, like immediately. And so it didn't take a big transition like it did with my other 2 girls. And so that's a good thing because she really doesn't miss having my breast milk when she already has a substitute, and then we're already reducing how much she takes in per day. Once I hit that 2 week during the weaning process, I was like charting down like what I was experiencing so that I could share it with y'all. And one thing that I did notice was like by day 4 or 5, I don't know, I felt like my hormones, I could feel my hormones like reducing, you know, the prolactin and estrogen and like all that. I could tell like my balance was changing. And I don't even know how to describe how I could tell. Honestly, I didn't feel like myself. And I didn't feel like myself physically. If you know me, you know I love to sleep. And yes, I've had a baby and you don't get much sleep during that first year, or for some kids it's even longer. But one thing that I have never experienced is insomnia. That first week that I was weaning, I'll say maybe the whole 2 week process that I was weaning, I was up in the middle of the night and just could not go to sleep. Like I was tired. My body was tired. Y'all know I'm in school too. So like I was like mentally tired. It was my normal bedtime. I was going to bed. So nothing changed in my schedule, but I could not go to sleep. And I was just up for hours. And I'm like, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I just want to go to sleep. Help me go to sleep. I am tired. I got to get up early. Or I know this baby's about to be up in a few hours. So I just want to get a little rest before that happens. I was Googling like, is this normal? Because I don't remember experiencing that with the other 2 times that I weaned. Maybe I did, but I wasn't writing down everything that I was experiencing, so I don't remember that. And it's so interesting. So one thing that I researched was like your oxytocin and your prolactin, those hormones are associated with feelings of like closeness and calmness. And so when you are breastfeeding, that's why you feel that when you are holding your baby, and it's a precious moment every time. Even if it, in the beginning, if it hurts, like you still feel this special bond, and it's because of those hormones. Now, when you're weaning, they're going back to normal. So those are going out the door. Your regular ones are going back to their regular levels. And so your body can't sleep. Like your body is like, what is going on? And I didn't feel like panicky. I will say with my number 2 baby, Cammy, when I was weaning, I do remember with her, I felt like anxious, and I had never felt like that before. And so I'll never forget that. Like, I remember just like looking at my hand and it was like shaking sometimes. And I'd be like, what is going on? And I Googled that too, Dr. Google, and learned about that being like a common experience weaning your newborn. And so I remember that with the second baby. Didn't have that this time around, thankfully, but couldn't sleep. Just was up for a couple weeks. Exhausted, tired, bags under my eyes. And then the last thing, which many of you may experience based on like your body's types, but I also started feeling the weight gain back. And don't be mad at me. No, I didn't gain like a bunch of weight. I only gained like 20 pounds per baby while I'm pregnant. And when I'm breastfeeding, I immediately lose all that weight, like almost immediately. I'm not even exaggerating. Like within the first week and a half, I lose all that. And then I have to purposely like make sure I'm eating because my metabolism is already extremely high, and then I'm breastfeeding. So I'm getting rid of all of my fat, all of my protein, all of my carbs. Everything that I do eat is going to the baby. And so it's just the way my body functions. And so I actually, believe it or not, go a whole year of breastfeeding, and then I start to gain my weight back. So I like go gain the 20, I'll lose like 26, 28 pounds while I'm breastfeeding. And then when I'm done breastfeeding, then I kind of go back to my norm, or a few pounds over, but it's pretty much, thankfully, I stay within that time frame. So I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to flex. I'm just trying to share my experience with y'all. So I'm working out, and that's the thing. Like when you're pumping or you're nursing, your body is burning calories like crazy. That's why you're supposed to eat more, which I know for some women, probably most women, they're trying to lose weight during that time frame. So it's like this tough catch-22. All those hours I was pumping every day, even at the end, it was still about an hour a day that I was pumping. So now I know, like, I gotta burn the calories a different way, and I can't eat it like I was eating while I was nursing and pumping. And so it's just a lifestyle change that I gotta quickly make. And then the last thing I'm worried about, I will say, is the hair loss. So typically for me, while I'm pregnant, hair's growing all lavishly, right? And then like, look at my bangs, nice and thick. But when I'm pregnant, it grows. When I'm nursing and pumping, it like maintains. The thickness remains, like the length, all that, it maintains. It's still glossy, nice and healthy. But then typically 4 to 5 months after I'm done nursing and pumping, I notice my hair falling out. And so while some women like have the hair fall out as soon as they deliver, like right afterwards, mine gets delayed for like 15, 16 months after the baby's born, but then it comes. So I am worried about that. And for me, it's like usually on my edges, I'll notice like, and you can see I already had like some thinning after I had the baby. If I go through that horrible experience again for the third time around, I will be sure to keep you guys informed. So that's it for this video. Another thing is what to do when my period comes back. So another unique thing, I never get my period during the time that I'm breastfeeding. Pretty much like 2 years of not having a menstrual cycle. And so I have to like relearn everything all over again every time. So I recently called my sister and I called my best friend, and I was like, okay, what are some of the new things on the market that I need to know about? What are these little cups that I keep hearing about? I've never tried it. And I know that around this time with Kennedy, it was like almost immediately when I stopped weaning, I got my period. With Cameron, it was a matter of months. And so far with Karis, it's been some weeks and I haven't had it yet, but we'll see. I'll be sharing all the deets about all the new options out there and what I decide on. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe right now. I will wait. I like my nails. Peace.